Lincoln Riley from USC here. How's it going, Coach?
We're good. How are you guys?
We're good. This is a fun experience for you, I'm sure. Like a little bit closer to home. How much are we letting Elijah, Makai, the rest of the squad? Are we taking in all of Las Vegas on this?
No, this is a quick strike mission right here. Yeah, in and out. Yeah, the only way to do Vegas safely, right?
Yeah, 100%. Let's start with your quarterback right now. We talk about the sport, we cover it, and sometimes one of the phrases we like to say is we judge a team, especially in this era, by action, but also by inaction. And that when you're choosing to commit to that quarterback and not trying to bring somebody else in, it means there's a lot of confidence. So what did you see across last season and maybe even into this spring from Jayden that really makes you feel good going into 2025?
Well, first, the 4 games that he played for us, we went 3-1. He gave us a great chance to beat Notre Dame. He made some big-time plays against 4 really good defenses. I mean, those were 4 challenging teams to kind of start off your USC football career. And so I think the way he played in those games, the way our team responded to him, the way he played in clutch situations, really showed a lot to me. And then it told me, all right, the things that we need him to improve at are very doable, right? These are the things that you can really fix. It's tough to make a guy a whole lot faster, or make his arm a whole lot stronger. But these are things we can fix. And he's a hardworking kid. The game is really important to him. His teammates are important to him. Winning is important to him. So we felt like we could work with that, and wanted to invest in him and the rest of our quarterback room, feeling like we have what it takes to be a great quarterback room. And so the focus this year has been, I think 2 things for him. One, the leadership piece, finding his voice as a leader, kind of knowing that he's that guy for us. And then I think the second one has been just minimizing some of the big mistakes. And that's for a lot of young quarterbacks, as we know, right? You may make some great plays, but are you offsetting those with big mistakes, right? If your bad plays, go watch Tom Brady in his prime, right? His bad plays were incompletions, were ugly throwaways, and it's winning football. And I think Jayden is understanding that and maturing, and I think that'll show up this fall.
You've had a lot of really good receivers play for you over the years. Your 2 backups who left in the portal are probably going to start and be the number 1 at Florida State and Georgia. What does that say about the room you still have there in LA, and how would you compare this room, maybe some of the better rooms you've had?
It's got a chance to be a really good room. Both Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, really, separated themselves for us last year, and ended up being the 2 guys that we really wanted to, invest in going forward. And this modern era of college football, you got to make those decisions, right? You got to make some of those tough ones, just like you do at the NFL level. And so, but their production, Makai, from an overall standpoint, was tremendous. He was a great kick returner, great on other special teams. He has just a really wide-ranging impact. Jacoby's really unique, just his ability to make some of the catches that he makes, his catch radius, and some of the playmaking ability, his ability to score touchdowns, is up there. And so those guys can get better, and we feel like we've added some pretty cool pieces around them. So I'm excited about the depth, the talent, how explosive this group is. So it's got a chance to be a really good one.
I remember last year you had a comment, I don't remember what game it was after, but we're close. Believe it or not, we're close. And there were some losses that were tough against really good teams. What do you do to change some of those close losses into wins this year?
Yeah, really every one of them was, and I think that's right. That's the natural question, right? And I think your first inclination is, all right, well, you have to play better late in games, which there's definitely a part of that that's true. No question. You got to go close it out and make some of those key plays at the end. Absolutely. But also part of it is, in a lot of those games, we had the lead with opportunities to really end the game, and put it out of reach. And I was honestly a little more disappointed that we missed some of those opportunities to just separate, where at the end it's not going to come down to one play or one call or whatever. And so, I think the answer is you got to get a little bit better everywhere. I don't see one part of our program, our team right now, where I'm like, man, we're a long ways away from looking like a team that could win a national championship. But every part of it's just got to keep growing. I couldn't say that a couple of years ago. I can say it now. And so I think that's the exciting part. And I think we're exhibiting signs of a group that's going to continue to get better and better across the board.
Do you ever feel like you've had to become an executive or like a CEO? Because I think about some of the big changes that don't have to do with the X's and the O's or even building a depth chart. You bring in Chad Bowden. You make some changes to the strength staff. You're helping lead real facility improvements to help USC be able to keep up in kind of this arms race that has become big-time college football. How has that CEO type role, how do you feel in that position?
Well, I've enjoyed it, parts of it. It's been a lot, especially like you said, you're taking over and trying to rebuild or restart a program in the middle of all this, right? It's not just one thing; it's kind of the combination of all. There are times I think here in the beginning where it's pulled me away from maybe coaching as much as I wanted to, or doing more of this or doing more of that. But that's just what the program needed. We're to a point now where, being able to go hire, Chad and the rest of the personnel staff that we brought in, because we brought in some all-stars around him, being able to go hire Rob Ryan, bring him in, Tremaine Carroll's our strength coach. Like, we're able to go get some of these high-quality people now because people, see what we're doing, and they're pretty excited about coming to work at FC. And so it's like it was a lot, but now actually, in the last 4 or 5 months, I would say I've probably coached more in the last 4 or 5 months than I have in a long, long time, because as these things get settled and you get great people in these areas, it allows you to kind of go back to maybe what got you into this in the first place, and that's certainly what I've experienced this spring.
And it's positive, right? I mean, that's something you've got to feel
Phenomenal.
good about.
I've missed it.
What's something you learned about this league in y'all's first year here that you can take going forward?
I don't know that I have some crazy answer. I mean, I think just simply everybody wants to make a big deal about the travel, and I think everybody will find little nuances where they can do it better. I don't know that that's as big a deal as people are making it. To me, it's new teams, new coaches, new things schematically, new rosters you're going against, new venues you're going into, new officiating crews that you're getting used to. How do they call it? It's more just the competitive parts of it to me, that you're assessing what your opponents are and what you've got to do to beat them. And so when you get in a league for a little while, you get that familiarity. And there's a little bit less new, and really everything was new last year. So I think our comfortability with that, will grow, but it's a hell of a league.
There's a lot of uncertainty about the future of college football and the playoff setup and how those teams qualify for the playoffs. And I know scheduling has been a big topic of conversation. You've had some interesting comments about the Notre Dame rivalry. How do we fix it so we can get the best for college football fans? Because I totally understand that, we saw Indiana cancel the, Virginia series. We've seen other coaches in other conferences, try to, make sure they have the clearest path to have the best record at the end of the season. How do we fix that so we can get the best rivalry games, the best matchups during the season, and still have a great postseason?
Well, there's only one way to fix it. You have to take it out of a committee's hands as much as you can. There's no matter how good the intent is, okay, no matter how smart or experienced people you have on it, how does somebody sit there and say, all right, if you're LSU last year, all right, you lose to USC in game one, right there at the end of the game, close game. Well, somebody else played an FCS opponent and won by 31 points. How do you say which one was more value or less value, or hurt more or help more? Nobody can do that. It's always going to be so subjective. And so I think you got to take it out of the committee's hands, and that's as much as possible. And that's, coming out of Big Ten meetings, that's at the end of the day where we said, look, if we can do that, where everybody knows what the parameters are, everybody knows what we're trying to do, everybody knows what it takes to get in, all right, then you can still preserve some of the old history of college football without disrupting what you're trying to do, or maybe putting your own school at a competitive disadvantage. And it's it's I know there's a lot of thoughts around it, but if we have any interest in preserving the old history, this is the only way, period, in my mind.
Would you go back to the BCS?
No.
Okay.
Good.
No.
I want to get rid of the committee altogether.
Yeah.
I can't stand the committee in the selection process.
No, and right now, unless unless there's more radical changes, as long as these conferences have different things, then you got to keep it within conference and let these teams go earn it with their conference schedule.
And that's exactly what the USC Trojans are going to be looking to do in 2025. He is Lincoln Riley, the head coach of the Trojans. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Cover 3 podcast.
Absolutely.